Welcome to Era Collective. My name is Athena, and in this video, we're going to have a TradingView guide. Now, this guide will show you exactly how to use TradingView, how to use the tools, indicators, different charts, playlists, layers, etc., etc. So the first thing we're going to get started with is once you sign up and you go to any chart, right? So if we go to tradingview.com, let's go back here, right? If you click on chart, sign up an account. Now for TradingView, you don't necessarily need to pay for the subscription, especially if you start out. You're not going to use a crazy amount of indicators. So when you first get started, don't pay for it. Once you get comfortable, then you're able to pay for it. Now on the right hand side, you're going to see a list, right? Up here, if you click on this, it's going to show you a list. So this is the area where you can add all of your coins. Now to add anything, you're going to click on this plus symbol. Click on crypto. If you want to add something like Bitcoin, you're able to choose between a variety of different exchanges. So that's how you add coins. You can also set up different categories or subcategories. So let's do, right, create a new list. You can call that list anything you want. So let's just do tutorial. All right, so fresh list here. We're going to add coins. So let's add Bitcoin to this list. And then if you want to put them in individual sections, so let's say you want to put ETH and Bitcoin separately, you're going to right click, add section. And then you can right click, rename this section ETH. And then you can right click, add section. You can call this Bitcoin, right? And then you can add as many as you want here. So you can click through them, see the different charts. Oh, when it wants to load, there we go. Right below it, you're going to see alerts. So alerts are going to be super important for you to use when it comes to TradingView. That way you're alerted when prices reach a certain area. Now to add an alert, you can right click your mouse and you can click alert, right? So you can put it at any price, you can put it at different trend lines or indicators. So if I click on this real quick, there you go. You can pretty much move it to any area. So if I want to put it on a horizontal array, you right click it, click on OK, and then it adds an alert, and we can see that by this little clock right here. So once the price moves to that area, it will set off an alarm. So this is where you check on the different alerts. Right below it, you're going to see headlines or any news that came out recently that might affect the market. Down here is the data window. We're not going to use this right now. There's different hot lists. These are more so for stocks, so we're going to ignore that. There's also a calendar that shows you the current economic things that are happening at the moment. So those are pretty much the most important areas. Another thing that we're going to focus on is the object tree. So what the object tree does, let's get a clean chart here. The object tree shows you exactly what you have on your chart. So you can group certain things together. Now we're going to go back to that in just a second. All right, so we're going to focus on this area. All right, actually, let's pull up Bitcoin instead. Let's get rid of all these. Perfect. So up here, this is how you select a coin if you want to look at it as well. So either on your list or you can just look at a coin here. This plus button allows you to compare two different charts together. So if I wanted to compare ETH and Bitcoin, I'd click on this and boom, ETH is in the orange. So let's remove that. Here is the time frames that we can look at. So when you first sign up, I don't think you have certain time frames, but you're able to look at the daily, monthly, weekly here, and you can edit this if you have the premium TradingView to have it for different time frames. So this is how you select the time frames. Right next to it is the different types of candles that you have. So this will be discussed in a later video on what they all mean. This is where you select it. So you can select different types of the way the data is displayed. We're going to stick with candles for now. Right here is indicators. So this we'll also discuss later in the video, but if you want to add anything on here, maybe you want to look for a RSI, you can add it on here, relative strength index. So once you click on it, it pops up. So that is for your indicators. Over here, you have templates. So if you have an indicator that, you know, you tweaked with the settings, you like how it looks, you can make it a template. So then you just click on this and click on the templates that you have. So to save a template, you're gonna go right here, save indicator template, and then it's gonna ask you to name it, and then you can name it whatever you want. This allows you to add multiple things together, and or if you have different charts. So let's get rid of this. Perfect. Here is where you create an alert. You can either do it through this little button or you can right click. I like the right click because it's a lot better. And right here we have our replay button. So this is probably one of my favorite things to use, especially to teach. All right, so if you click on the replay button, you can click pretty much anywhere in the chart. What it does is it pretty much gets rid of everything after that line, and then you can speed through it and figure out, you know, exactly what happens. And if we do it faster, let's do it faster because it's too slow. All right, it goes faster. And this is especially important if you're making a strategy that you have to backtest, and or you're just trying to research, right, if something works in terms of indicators or strategies, etc., etc. So that is the replay button. On the left-hand side, we have your pointer, right? You can either have a cross, dot, arrow, and you can erase some data. I just like this one. Right below it, we have our trend lines. So that means if you want to see if we're in an uptrend or downtrend, you click on this, click left click once, drag it to where you want it to go to. And if you want it to do anything different, say you want to write something on it, like uptrend, I don't know. You can write anything on pretty much almost every single tool. All right, let's delete those. You also have different types of lines. You can either have an arrow as well, pointing to something. All right, if you're trying to explain how certain things work. Array. So array pretty much just moves a trend line, but it moves it like all the way out. So you don't have to keep dragging it. And this is especially useful if you're looking for some long-term support and resistances. Right, you're trying to see how certain things look, you'd use the array. These are not really important. Angles, not really important. What's important is the horizontal line, horizontal array. So these we will use for support and resistance. So you're gonna click on it, and then wherever you see a support or resistance, you're gonna left click, and it drops the line. You can move it around. And then we also have the horizontal array. Once you click on this, it only takes the left, right? It completely ignores anything on the left, takes that point and drags it all the way across. Additionally, we have a vertical line. So this is if you want to see if you have any indicators you want to compare data with. Oops. Maybe I don't have my RSI, that's fine. You can click on this and boom. All right, just puts a line across your screen. Parallel channels, so these are extremely important when it comes to looking at channels. Oops, let's not do that. But if you see a uptrend or a downtrend, it's definitely useful. Or consolidation, it shows you the upper range and the lower range and also the mid range. So it allows you to see how it moves between those lines. We also have a regression trend. This is another one, but I don't like this one too much. I like to do it manually. Yep, the rest, not really important for the moment. Right below it, we have our fibs. So this is gonna be very important. So if we click on fib, right, low to high, you can pretty much edit any indicator. You can edit any indicator by double clicking on it, or tool, not indicator, right? If you want to reverse, show the prices, etc., etc. So tweak with this, play around with it. Boop. You can extend trend-based fib. So this we'll go over a little bit later on. We got pitchforks, fib channels. So all of these, or some of these, we'll go over in the later videos. But this is where to find them. Right here, right below the fibs, we have our brush. This is if you want to write stuff, you want to show some trends. We have a highlighter for some reason if you need to highlight anything, although I never use the highlighter really. Rectangles, these are especially useful when it comes to supply and demand. All right, you're gonna drag those suckers, you know. All right, left click, hold. So those are boxes. The rest you don't really need for the moment. You also have text if you want to write stuff down here. And you're able to do call outs as well. Here, something, something, something. And if you need arrows, that kind of fun stuff. All right, so that is where you find the text and visual indicators. Here's where we have patterns, right? Head and shoulders, 3 drives, any cipher patterns, Elliott waves. All of these different things are going to be in here. Right below it, we have our long position and short positions. We have a forecast, date ranges if you want to compare how long a trend took, projections, fixed range volume profile is going to be over here. So this shows you the overall volume of a certain area that you're selecting on whatever chart. Now, this might sound very, very confusing, but I promise you, this is only the tutorial of where to find certain things. But later, in the later courses, we're going to go over pretty much every single tool on TradingView. So you're going to be able to understand all these weird things that I'm going over. We also have a measuring tape right here, in case you want to see how big a drop was or how much a coin moved. Right, we're going to use the ruler. Here we can zoom in, but we don't really need that. The magnet, this is if you want it to select the exact price point, although I don't use it too much because it's a little bit, it gives me a headache. I like to do it manually. But if you want it to literally stick to the candlestick, then you can do it this way. And if you want to lock the drawing tools here, boop, and to delete everything, right here. Now, let's say we have a few different support and resistances, right? So I'm going to draw a bunch of lines just for fun right now, just to show you guys how it works. All right, so let's say we have these 2 lines. We want to group them together. So we're going to go down here where it says object tree. You're going to click those 2, right? Hold shift, click those 2 horizontal lines, right click, create group of drawings, and then right click and name these daily resistance or support resistance. And you can have as many things on here if you want to have boxes as well, you know, pretty much whatever, group them a certain way. You're able to right click, create a clone. And then if you don't want to look at these, but you still want the information, you can just make it go away by click on this. It's still here, but it's just not, you're not able to see it, but you can click on it. So this is extremely useful if you have a bunch of support and resistances, if you have a bunch of strategies that you put up, or a bunch of trend lines that you just don't want because it's too messy. You can go ahead and put it into different objects, right, in the object tree area. So that is pretty much it. That is our tutorial for TradingView. Hope you guys learned a little bit about how to use TradingView. Like I said, you don't have to pay for it. Wait until you're a little bit more experienced to get the full experience. with that said, go ahead and pull up TradingView, play around with the tools, get comfortable, right? Take your time, make sure you're proficient, you know exactly where everything's at, practice, and then we'll see you in the next video. Peace.